Because the bust is so fragile, scanning has to be done on site. For the first time on television, a rare historical artifact hidden away for centuries can be brought to light and to life.
Because we can bring the equipment to the artefacts themselves, it means that we can read them, we can decode them in a way that was completely impossible before. And I'm watching now as Caesar's head is emerging on the computer, and you can see his wrinkles, you can see details down to pores on his cheeks. It's just fantastic.
Dr. Hughes compares the scans with contemporary descriptions of Julius Caesar's appearance.
Everybody says that he has a very striking nose and a rather kind of saggy underchin, that he was gaunt and rangy. And you do have all those features on this head. But there's something more subtle, I think, as well, that when he died, the Roman people went mad with grief. They raged. And so that would have meant that Caesar must have had huge charisma, and I'm not convinced that this man has it.
Many historians agree and doubt the authenticity of the Turin 139 head.
Allora, sicuramente la testa.
The head, or the so-called death mask, is not actually Caesar's mask. It has been reworked and is in fact a bust from the 18th century. It is most probably in the same style as the ancestors of the late Republic's masks.
Without a definitive death mask, Dr. Hughes considers two busts of Caesar supposedly created in his lifetime. One, known as the Torlonia head, is hidden away and permission was not given to scan it. This is the second, known as the Tusculum Caesar. It is the only bust that most historians agree was created in Caesar's lifetime.
I think the Tusculum head would probably be the best starting point if you wanted to scan and reproduce a face of what Caesar actually looked like. I think it's the most realistic starting point.
The Tusculum Caesar is more than 2,000 years old, and historical records indicate that it was carved when Caesar was 50 years old. The original is fragile and could easily be damaged by handling or even sunlight, so an exact duplicate is provided for the first ever laser scan of Julius Caesar's face. The head is scanned, a laser recording every detail. From this scan, a kind of human topographical map is created, the peaks and valleys of Caesar's face. Then months of rendering take every pixel and create its color, texture and tone to allow us a new look at a 2,000-year-old face. The face matches many of the descriptions of Caesar written during his lifetime. There is the deeply wrinkled brow, the large eyes with crow's feet, a prominent nose known as a Roman nose, thin lips, creased cheeks, jutting cheekbones and chin, a scraggy neck with folds of skin. Here is the great leader in his prime, aged around 50. The new face of Caesar is shown to historian and scholar Anthony Cam. He has studied Julius Caesar for decades.
I'm sure the nose is right. That's a Roman nose. A forehead of an intellectual. He was a towering intellectual. The eyes are dark, they are staring through one, as I'm sure he did not only with his subordinates, with his staff, but also, I would guess, his women.
We do have really rich details from the literary sources of what Caesar looked like. So we hear that he had these huge black eyes that he'd used to woo women, and a few whispered men as well from time to time.
The Tusculum head also preserves one of Caesar's less flattering characteristics, his baldness.
Julius Caesar was perhaps the Donald Trump of his day. He was known to comb forward his hair as much as possible, and he enjoyed wearing laurel wreaths because they covered up his lack of hair.
Is this the true face of Julius Caesar?
I think the Tusculum head of Caesar is about as close as we will ever get to knowing what he looked like.
It certainly has the power that one would expect from him, and I'm absolutely fascinated.